Good morning, Vikings. Shit. I forgot to put myself up on there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I tried to find a video of the skull and then the drums and the skull. But no, hey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. This is the time I wake up that I'm good. I got my coffee in. We're gonna talk some Vikings because it's a very interesting team. A lot of pieces moved, and I don't know how I feel about it. But other than that, though, I'm good. I've been up for an hour and a half, maybe longer. I don't know, and I'm probably gonna go back to bed. I don't know if I might go to work. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do today after this show. But I'm good. I'm golden. I'm great. How was your weekend, man?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad your dad made it there for Father's Day. Did you guys do anything?
Oh, we just hung out at the house yesterday. My sister
Yeah.
made a 10-hour brisket. It was delicious.
Oh no, really? Nice. That's awesome. Brisket, dude. I love brisket, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, good morning to whoever's in. Hope you guys had a good Father's Day. And let's talk about these Vikings, man. All right. The 2023 Vikings, all right? So interesting. Mark knows this team very well. Why? Because his mom, shout out to Patty, is also a Vikings fan, a diehard Vikings fan, and I love watching the Vikings games with her. She is the most dramatic fan I've ever seen in my life. She will get mad. It's like a roller coaster of events. If they're not on the rise, she is out the door. She's outside. She's very superstitious. Like if one of us goes to the bathroom and they score, she goes, "You need to go back to the bathroom and stay in there." But yeah, so it's great. I love watching them lose when you're when your mom's present. They are so like she's so bad, man. It's hilarious.
4-letter words come out. She's like,
Yes.
I gotta go for a walk. We'll be at a restaurant. She's like, I gotta go for a walk, and she'll just leave.
Yeah,
Great.
pretty much. You're like, are you gonna come back?
Like, she'll really into her team.
So, all right. The first season under Kevin O'Connell, right? The Minnesota Vikings
spent a whole game in the bathroom because of her.
Wait, so what?
Braden said I spent a whole game in the bathroom because of her.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. She's very superstitious like that. So yeah. But again, yeah. So what are we gonna say about the Vikings? The Vikings, the first year under Kevin O'Connell, right? They went 13-4, and they went to the playoffs, and then they lost to the Giants in the wild card, which is crazy. The winning percentage that they had was like above, like it was really good. It was like .765, like it was good. It was above 500, obviously, but it was like the average of it was actually pretty real. So almost every game they were winning, but the crazy part of it, they were barely squeezing wins, like differentials of like 3 points. And like it was just nuts. Like the Vikings were fun to watch last year, and it was fun probably to watch what your mom was doing in these games, because it was a crazy event. So yeah. Look, just take a guess, man. Just take a guess, Anthony. Good morning, dude. How are you? But yeah, no. So obviously Justin Jefferson is the biggest piece here. The guy is literally carrying the team. Kirk just throws it to him and he makes it happen. Obviously, he got named Offensive Player of the Year. He led with 128 receptions with almost 1,800 yards. So, I'm a little worried what the Vikings are going to do contract situation, because it is in his final year. So this man is going to get paid, and he's going to be the best in the league. So he's going to be the highest paid receiver. without a doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah, easily over 30 million. I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, and I don't even know if the Vikings are going to be like, what are they going to do to swing this? I don't know. Let them deal with it. But for now, they are set to go for 2023. I'm sure the contract negotiations are going to probably rise up. Hopefully, they're both mature about it, and we don't have a Stephon Diggs situation or anything like where something diva-ish happens, and then he decides to stop playing after week 8 or 9 because they haven't settled in an extension. Hopefully, he's mature about it and just like I said, waits till maybe after the season, and then they get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
So
agree.
yeah, it sucks when these players like, oh well, like Lamar. Prime example, like Lamar. He was like in the middle of the season. I'm like, dude, get through the season, bro. Get through the season. Don't even worry about that. Like, you have basically from January to June to figure it out. Almost July, actually. I think it's July 17th. I don't know, dude. It's weird. Good morning, Savor the Flavor. Vice Bills last year was one of the best exciting games I've ever watched live.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there. Nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I hope you took pictures and videos of that. That's awesome. But yeah, Jefferson going to get paid. He might be, yeah. It seems that way. Because Kirk Cousins right now, I mean, he did surprisingly, he did really good, man. He was like fourth overall, like with yards last season. He had like 4,500 yards. However, he did like 14 interceptions, which kind of like lowered his, ratio there. But this defense we're gonna get into, and I know we feel about this defense. It sucks. They were last, I believe, or the Lions were last, or they were second. I don't know what. Either
They
way,
were down there. They were down there.
yeah,
They're historically
yeah.
bad.
They were basically giving up almost 380 yards to each team every week, and that's a pretty crappy average if you ask me. So, going into this year's draft, they had 5 overall draft picks with the 23rd, the 102, the 134, the 141, 164, and the 222. And the reason they didn't have a second is, well, I think it was the second round trading of TJ Hawkinson. So they landed himself a tight end. So Mark, introduce us these rookies that we have, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, they only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. Oh, that's because they didn't have their one. Oh, what? They had 2 fifths too. Weird.
Yeah.
All right. So with the first pick of their draft, number 23 overall, they got Jordan Addison, wide receiver out of USC. That is to replace Adam Thielen, who went to the Panthers. And then they got 102, the third round, they got Mekhi Blackman out of USC as well. That was probably to replace Peterson, who left to go to the Steelers. And then we got 134 from Kansas City, Jay Ward, another corner, this one out of LSU. We got 141, Jaquelin Roy, defensive tackle out of LSU. Oh, they got 2 different schools in their first 4 picks. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 164 is Jaron Hall, QB out of BYU. Also, they got the BYU quarterback. That's cool. And then they got Dwayne McBride, running back out of UAB, with their 222 overall.
These are interesting picks to me.
Yeah.
They're not horrible either, but they're pieces that are all can develop. Especially of all these defensive losses and what they're doing and what they couldn't acquire anymore, either through age or just guys just moving on, or just kind of like obviously salary. So they looked into the draft to replace him, really. So, and it's kind of like what you mentioned, they lost Patrick Peterson, so it's like, well,
I feel like these are decent pieces you can develop, but I feel like they're all going to get kind of thrown into the fire.
Well, yeah, no, definitely 100% sure. Is that why they're letting players go to save money for Jay? That's a possibility.
That is my theory on what's happening.
Yeah, this is why I kind of left his comment after these rookies. Because no, and that's a possibility. I don't think they're gonna let go of Jefferson. The guy's too good. Now, is Jaron Hall gonna come in there after Kirk Cousins and start balling out? I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. And it just the guy was behind. Wasn't he behind freaking Wilson? So I mean, if Wilson's bad, this guy could be a project. But I don't know. I honestly, personally, haven't looked at much tape on Jaron Hall. He is a sneaky pick though. So, Vikings stayed at definitely. Oh, yeah, they did. Just walked across the street. All right, look. But no, overall, dude, I'm looking at these picks. Jordan Addison is going to have a pretty decent career as long as Jefferson's there. He's going to be a strong complement, number 2, by far, in my opinion. I think with him and JJ, I think that it's going to be a pretty good duo threat.
I agree.
How do you feel about freaking what's his face? Jelan Reagor.
Oh, he's still there, which is, I mean, good for him, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like clearly they're not that high on him, because if they were, they wouldn't have worried about getting a receiver with the first pick. They would have just moved him up.
Mm-hmm.
And KJ's still above him.
Yeah, KJ Osborne's above. Yeah.
I mean, it's good for like depth, I think. So if you have an injury, you're like, okay, well, we got Jelan Reagor. I think he could easily take over for Osborne, maybe even Addison if he were to get hurt. He already has a question on mine. That's weird.
Yeah.
So I think he's good for depth, but apparently he's just not living up to his expectations as a first-round pick.
No, and you know what's crazy is a lot of us were so high on him. Like, man, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be really well with what we thought he was gonna be the one. Because this was before AJ was there, before Devontae Smith. So we thought he was gonna be like the true it factor. But hey, it is what it is. Vikings are 10th in the most cap for next year okay. Well, cut that in half, because that's probably going to go to JJ. And then they're looking at probably 30 something. Late 20s. I don't know. So that's interesting. Thank you, Braden. I just, I don't think they're going to let him go. I don't think they can. Like, there's no way.
No.
I think you said it's Addison is like Lockett. He is. He is. He is the Lockett to the DK here.
Mm-hmm.
You got a stud receiver. He's a perfect 2 for the perfect 1. That makes sense. So, Phillips still head coach, or not head coach, offensive coordinator here, right? So, I just the whole situation with Delvin Cook leaving, right? Obviously, let him go. He's an aging running back. I see more of the pass game, a lot of play action, because with Madison being the guy, do you see Chandler or McBride? I wonder if McBride even steps it up and becomes the 2. He could even be the 1.
Yeah, I agree.
But I still believe that Madison still has it.
5'11", 215. No, I think Madison. Well, they were already talking about Madison. Madison's a 3-down back, and we have all the faith in Madison. So I really think Madison will be the guy.
Yeah, I still think that these other running backs are going to still squeeze their way in. I don't think he's going to be.
The NFL moves to more of a 2-back, 3-back system, which
right.
One of these backs will be taking a little bit of the load off for Addison. That's the question.
No, yeah, right. And then it plus it's just going to beat up your main running back anyway. So why not?
Exactly.
So,
and they don't all not having a beat up running back.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be the Lions and beat up Swift. Okay, that's not good. Or no, don't do that.
Or the Vikings
So,
with Cook.
yeah. So Kirk Cousins, obviously, Nick Mullins behind him, and Jaron Hall, as we mentioned. Nick Mullins not a bad backup to Kirk Cousins. I mean, obviously, Kirk Cousins we've seen and know what he can do. So, do you think he elevates his game this year with all these pass catchers now? Like,
I think it just depends on if they're able to run the ball. If they can run the ball even just okay to decent, I think Cousins could have a good year throwing the ball.
because the line hasn't changed, man.
It has
They
not.
still have all these freaking offensive tackles. You know, and
Well, they
I'm not.
got.
Go ahead.
It hasn't changed, but I feel like their offensive line isn't terrible, especially on the left side. Like Shaw, Cleveland, and Bradbury, they're all solid.
Yeah.
But the left side does leave a little to be desired
Mm-hmm.
with Brian O'Neill and
Right.
Ed
No,
Ingram. But
I agree. Still absolutely well that Dalvin Cook got shown the door. Yeah, like I said, kind of Mark was saying, I don't think that they're making all these moves to keep him there. And that's what it ultimately looks like.
yeah, they
So,
were with all these people on the roster. They're very bad cap situation, and I really did feel that their main priority was keeping JJ.
yeah.
So they were like, "You must go. You must go." Plus, you think about most of the cuts. Like, sure, they lost Adam Thielen and Cook, but they replaced Thielen with uh, Addison. And then they have the confidence in Madison. Addison and Madison. That rhymes. Oh.
You're stupid.
But you look at how bad their defense was last year. I feel like their thought process was bring in Brian Flores. I know we're not talking about the defense, but bring in Brian Flores, get it younger so he can teach them to play the way they want to. And it's not like they can be any worse than they were last year.
True. They brought in like the first after Jordan Addison. I feel like Jordan Addison was the best available guy they grabbed, and then drafted for what they needed, which is also not a bad strategy either. I've seen a lot of people do that. Like even when it comes to Dynasty, I've seen people do that as well. So
Vikings don't seem to run as often in the new offense. They ran it 45 less times last year. Huh?
That's like a whole game and a half, maybe two.
Yeah, it's like 2 rushes and then some a game.
Roughly, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't surprise me if they do the same. It would not surprise me because McBride is I feel like his issue is he can't hold on to the ball, which could hinder him from being a 1, but he has to work on that. So I've watched him. I'm like, he could be a good project to have. He could be the easy number 2, but then his ceiling can also be better than Madison. So it's McBride's one of those guys I kind of want to watch. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to take him on my dynasty team, and if I do, he's easily a taxable guy. Like throwing your taxi.
Like last round if he's still there.
Yeah, but
maybe sign him if he didn't get drafted at all.
Maybe, yeah. So he's one of those guys. Look, they're going to pass a lot. I feel like they have everything that says pass. Running, it's gonna no. I don't think so. If they do, what do you think Madison does? 800 yards?
Yeah, I'd say his cap is probably 800 to about 1,000 yards.
1,000, really? I don't know.
Well, 1,000 is not even. It's like 60 yards a game.
Yeah,
There's
but
17 games now. Getting 1,000
they would
yards
have to
isn't
be.
what it used
He would
to
have
be.
to be the main guy though. Like they would have to literally give him the ball 15 times a game. That's what I don't know if they'll do.
He could get the ball 15 times a game.
Okay.
They're only established running back right now, so
yeah. I don't know. We'll see which side Chandler shows up if he does anything. So, Receiving core: Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. We talked about in KJ Osborne, Jelan Reagor. We mentioned these guys. Coming in, it's a good asset. I think these guys can put it. Like Jordan Addison might be a very good, valuable asset.
Yeah.
I even think he might be decent enough in redraft leagues mid-season. I think this guy, like for redraft leagues, if your receivers are hurt, this guy might be one of those top waiver wire guys.
I agree. I feel like Justin Jefferson's gonna get the double and triple teams, which will leave Addison out on an island with one person most of the time. And I think he's good enough to where that would be easy pickings for him.
Yeah. But for dynasty leagues, this guy's going first round.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So I mean, he was the fourth receiver drafted, which was crazy. I remember in the draft it was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, they all went in a row.
Yeah.
No receivers, like, no receivers. Oh crap, there they all go. All
yeah, right. It was like what it started with the 20th or the 21st. I think it was 20, 21, 22, 23, or maybe 21, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not sure, but it was in that era. And I was like, okay, Zay Flowers went before him. JSN. So I think it was JSN, QJ, Zay Flowers, and then Jordan Addison, right?
Well, QJ like was first.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Okay.
No. JSN was first. JSN was first.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah. So
I got it right here. I can just literally look it up right now.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going off top memory. But yeah, no. If JSN was first, QJ, Zay Flowers.
Nope. JSN, QJ, Zay Flowers, then Jordan Addison.
Right. So he's still a top guy. And it wouldn't surprise me he could actually outproduce the other guys just depending on the way the system is. This guy probably has, if not Zay Flowers, well, even then, Zay Flowers probably no. I think this guy has the highest ceiling this season for out of the rookies. So I'm thinking about QJ Chargers might have to work his way in. JSN is going to be slotted, but then you got DK and Lockett, who's going to kind of like
be one
main guys.
Yeah.
I believe between the two rookies, or four rookies, Addison and JSN might have the highest upside this season coming in on the rookie year.
Well, I think Addison might have the highest just because if you look at the depth charts, he's 2.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's 2 with JJ, like I said, the potential for him to get a lot of balls thrown his way is high. Whereas QJ is 3rd, JSN is 3rd, Zay Flowers is 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to say that won't change, but just starting the season at 2, I feel like this gives you a slight edge over the other ones.
Yeah.
For your total body of work for the season.
No, I agree. No, I know you're high on QJ. Like that's.
I do like QJ. I do.
That's your guy. So, say QJ got taken early rounds, and you're sitting at the 110. You're sitting at the 110, and you have JSN and Jordan Addison here, and Zay Flowers. Rank them. Who would you take? Like if you're sitting at 1, 9, 10, 11, somewhere on that range. I'm just curious on what you would do.
Well, are we doing it overall?
Yeah, Dynasty.
Or because
like QJ's gone. Like hypothetically, if QJ's gone,
I feel like for this first year, Addison would be the one to take. But overall, I think JSN, Addison, Flowers.
So overall for Dynasty, you think JSN's going to have a better career?
I think so because I think once Lockett isn't there, he slides into 2. Like he's going to go off. It's just going to take a little while to get there.
I don't know.
He'll show flashes and he'll have decent games here and there because he is in the slot. But like when they run like 2 tight ends or like goal line, like he's not going to be on the field.
Okay, I don't know about that. No, and I see your perspective, but I think JSN stays where he's going to be at. I think once Lockett's gone, because JSN's slow, man. Like let's be honest, he's slow. But he's a great receiver. He's good at what he does. I think JSN stays at that slot, and he's going to be the best slot. But I think they bring in another guy in the next couple years.
Stays their slot.
Yeah, I think he stays at slot, which I'm not saying is a bad thing either.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's interesting. So you would take JSN this year over the other three or the other two?
Yeah, but it's very close. Like I think Addison will be really good too.
Okay, not bad. I just had to pick your brain. That's all.
I do like Addison a lot too, but it would be a hard back and forth for me.
Right. For the record, Minnesota was 30th in rushing attempts per game, which is probably a big factor as well why they released Cook. They averaged 23.3, which was 10 less than Philly a game.
Dang.
Wow.
See, 23.3. Addison gets 15. Get 1,000 yards. I'm not worried.
But what do you think they changed it to the last rank? Do you think they become 32nd this year? Guys, I'm looking at these running back rooms and all these teams, and they might.
It's possible, just from the standpoint to stay in games, they're going to have to pass the ball because their defense is going to allow a lot of points a game.
Yeah, and what's crazy, this is with Cook,
which is another reason why they had. Well, Cook didn't play that much last year though; he was hurt.
True, but I mean that still kind of should have elevated something when Cook was there. So. I don't know. They might be the worst rushing game room next year. So Miami was 31 and Tampa Bay was 32nd. Really?
Well.
See, but Miami did something differently with A-Chain. But even then, that's going to be a pat. I don't know. Nah, we'll worry about them later.
Imagine if Cook goes from the 30th to the 31st because he really wants to go to Miami.
I don't think Miami will be 31st anymore, though. I think Mike will utilize him more in a way because he loves his running backs. He loved them in San Fran, then he went to Dolphins, and he has the same guys there, and he loves them. So it should be interesting there. So, anyways, all right, moving on to defense. So go ahead if you want to. You want to do this defense or?
No, sure.
Yeah, because I have a 3-4. Like, go ahead and read off yours.
Yep, I also have a 3-4 as well. So I got left defensive end was Dean Lowry with James Lynch behind him. I got Kairos Tonga. Is that it? Kairos?
Yeah,
Tonga with TJ Smith behind him. I got there's a stud for them on defense. Harrison Phillips. He blew up last year. I like him. With Ross Blacklock behind him. I have Daniil Hunter slotted, but we all know what's going on with him. He's not showing up to anything. He's probably on his way out as well. But behind him, you got DJ Wanham and Patrick Jones. So there's some interesting names. Linebackers, though, are pretty decent. Brian Osma, the second, we really liked him coming out last year. I'm looking forward to him maybe taking some big steps forward this year and being good. Jordan Hicks, solid middle linebacker. Marcus Davenport. And then behind them, I got Troy Reeder, William Kuwinku, Benton Wheatley. And then their secondary, we got Andrew Booth Jr. on one side, Byron Murphy on the other. I got Benton Wheatley as – oh, I'm sorry, that's linebacker. Mekhi Blackman as the slot corner, and then Harrison Smith and Cameron Bynum as the safety. Man, Lewis Sign isn't even starting. Good Lord. That was Lewis Sign not starting.
Harrison Smith is still lingering around.
Right? He's there, but Lewis Sign is like benched for Cameron Bynum. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Is that what you have too?
I have Sign behind him as well, yeah.
Good Lord. Like Lewis Sign was like a first-round pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Starting?
I don't know these guys. It's like another Jelan Reagor. I don't know.
I guess.
I do like that they brought in Byron Murphy and Jordan Hicks from the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
And then Marcus Davenport still lingering around. Dude, isn't he like 33 now?
Oh, he's up there.
He's look.
Okay,
A
so
lot of
Andrew
old,
Booth was a second rounder from last year. Interesting.
yeah.
And Harrison Smith is 34.
Marcus Davenport's probably up there as well. Sign broke his left leg. Oh crap! Okay, that makes damn.
Oh yeah, Marcus Davenport.
So that definitely, yeah, that'll do something. Well, I don't know. I look, once he heals, I'm pretty sure he'll make his way up, but I don't know. So that makes sense. Thanks, Raiden. No, I'm so either way. Look, I'm looking at this crew. It's good. It's talented. Issue is, how long is it going to stay here? How, like, what they did when the draft with between the middle parts and they grabbed nothing but defense. That's good. Jay Ward, Mekhi Blackman, that's what they needed. Some corners, because they were getting demolished, and then Brian Murphy's there as well. So it's like, I think that the pass defense for them is going to be a little bit better, which is good. Like, good for them. You got Andrew Booth, obviously one of the best corners in the league as well, or from last year's draft, and it seems like it's still going to continue because I don't see a lot of people throwing his way either. So he's that good. He contains. That's what you want. So overall, like, it's just this defense can fall apart real easy, but then at the same time, it's like it can hold its own a little bit, but for how long? Because I also see these veterans. I don't know how long they're going to keep up, through the entire season. And I think they have like a late bye week. So do we see injuries occur and then they don't come back till like week 14? I think it's 13. I think it's week 13.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, after looking at the defense, I'm actually impressed with what they did in the secondary. Because, like you said, I like Byron Murphy as well. They got Andrew Booth. They have Mekhi Beckham back there. I just worry, especially with Daniil Hunter holding out, because it looks like he's going to get moved. Like, they're going to have no pressure on the quarterback. Like, they have Phillips, and that's it.
They're going to have to rush a lot of Hicks. Hicks is going to have to go.
So, yeah, they're going to have like a blitzing scheme with the linebackers maybe to try to apply
maybe
that
Murphy.
pressure. But then that puts your secondary kind of on islands by themselves, guarding people.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I do like Brian Flores. We'll see what he does. But overall, I'm actually, now that I look at the defense, if they can bring Daniil Hunter back, I actually feel like the defense might not be half bad. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be great by any stretch of the imagination,
right?
But they're not quite as bad as I thought.
Seems to be
fully. Yeah, I was just looking at it. Like, he had his second surgery 9 months ago.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, if I don't know.
So maybe it's just like a slow work to get him back in, maybe.
Yeah, but he might go in, but there might be a trio between Smith, him, and Cameron.
Yeah.
Hicks is too slow to blitz.
Well, I think Hicks will stay in the middle in like zone coverage.
I mean, they might send him, but I don't know. But who else you have here that's gonna be like? Because I don't see Marcus Davenport.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
going in,
right?
Brian Asamoah might have to be the blitzing guy here. Troy Reader's not that bad though. He's okay. I liked him when he was with LA. So, but yeah, no, Murphy might be that blitzing corner that they'll have to bring down. So we'll see. Good morning, Kadani. How are you? How was your Father's Day? How was Flash? Good, bad? I know you guys went yesterday, so. But we will have a good day. I hope you have a fantastic day as well. So, thanks for checking in.
Yeah, thanks, man. Always appreciate you dropping by.
But either way, this defense was one of the crappiest ones in the league last year.
Well, they were
They
like
didn't really.
historically bad.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, that they brought in some pieces. Can it change? I don't know.
I think they got the right leadership with Brian Flores as a defense coordinator. So I think that was the first step.
Okay.
And then, like I said, after reevaluating some of the pieces they brought in, I don't think they'll be. They might not be as bad as last year, but I'm still not saying they're going to be, not even probably good.
Right.
They gotta figure out who they're getting to get at that quarterback.
Right. Plus, the chemistry still has to click. Like, there's a lot of new pieces to this defense.
Like if they had Daniil Hunter and kept Za'Darius Smith, I'd say this defense could actually be slightly scary. But they don't have those pieces, so
right. All right. So, as we always do, look at these teams. We look at both sides of the offense, and we do IDP here. So, for dynasty purposes, we also like to have the who you taking, who you gambling, and just no,
hell
I'm not
no,
taking at all.
hell no.
Yeah. So, I think I'll go first because I think you went first last week or last week, right?
I did.
Which, by the way, we were supposed to do this episode on Friday, but I think we were coming to a point where okay, we knew it was coming. One of us was gonna get burnt out, and it so happens that both of us got burnt out. I'm like, hey, dude. I also had something coming up as well. I'm like, nah, dude, I wasn't feeling good, feeling it. I think, and then Mark's like, it's all right. I was in the same mood.
I was sitting at my chair on my computer doing my stuff. Like I was putting the schedule and stuff in. When I got your text message, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm good with that. Like I was at the thing and I was gonna do it, but I was just like, I don't know, I was just tired. Well, you're like, oh no, I was like, oh, that's fine, we're good.
yeah, that's fine. Go.
I went right back to my bed, and I'm like, okay.
You rest, buddy. You rest.
Yeah, you rest. You, it's good.
If we go by points allowed, Minnesota was 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were bad. I think I had mentioned that they were like they averaged like almost 380 something yards.
Yeah,
per game.
It's funny because they all their wins, even though they had a lot of them, were like, oh, we barely beat people, but their losses, what was that, like 52-3 against the Cowboys?
Yeah, no,
like
they got
24-7 against the Eagles. Like when they lost, they lost.
Yeah, it was
Tony Pollard looked like an MVP candidate against the Vikings.
I remember the game where they lost to the Cowboys. The network themselves, it was so embarrassing that
they switched it.
They took it off air. It was so bad. They took it off air and they put on a different game. They were like, no. People were leaving and it was crazy. I was like, yeah, no,
yeah, there it is. Not. Only Tennessee gave up more passing yards. So they were 31st in passing defense. That's nuts.
It's nuts.
I just know that I won that week in Dynasty because Tony Pollard got like 30 points and CeeDee Lamb got like 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
It was nuts.
All right. So let me do the gambling. Who am I taking? Who am I gambling? Who am I not taking? So this one's hard. And I don't know. Do you want to go first? Because I feel like once I have my picks, it's going to be harder for you. Or unless that kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit.
No, you can go.
All right. Now, without a doubt, obviously the obvious answer who you're taking is Justin Jefferson. So I'm gonna take a little different. I'm gonna go with Jordan Addison. He's gonna be the clear number 2 there. And for Dynasty, he's gonna be there for a while. Now, if the Vikings can't reach a contract for some whatever reason, but I don't think they will. I mean, they're gonna pay this man. KJ Osborne might be gone. Jelan Reagor might be gone. Like 3 or 4 of these guys might be gone. But Addison will at least be the safest there for another 4 years. For them for you to be on a Dynasty roster and have him, I know what I'm getting. The only questionable thing is here that we don't know who the quarterback may or may not be, and that may or may not hurt them. But at least within those 4 years, your first year is good, second year is questionable, third year is questionable, but I would say the fourth year is good because you can't go like 2-3 years without failing that long unless you're the Colts. So I'm gonna say Jordan Addison is my for sure one. The guy I'm gambling on here is and it I don't like it, but Byron Murphy's really good. But the problem is he plays corner, but I also do have him as on my roster here. They're playing that nickel so he could be blitzed in a lot. He could be that all around guy. So I'm gonna gamble on him, and he's still young. But he also has to establish himself into this defense. So he's a bit of a gamble. And the guy I'm not taking, obviously, is just I'm not taking Kirk Cousins. Like it's just the dude's aging and he's gonna be gone here next season, from what I'm thinking. So
Anthony's taken TJ, gambling on Alexander Madison, and he's not taking not taking Dean Lowry. He says it's a gamble because he can't take the full load of a number one. I see that. Mm-hmm. Not just that, but then as we said, with this offense, they don't actually physically run the ball. So
yeah.
So but yeah, gambling for Madison, it's not bad.
The Dean Lowry pick is just, I agree. He was brought in from Green Bay. He's just a filler guy. Yeah. They're gonna replace him by next year, easy.
I mean, JJ, that's a good one. No one's gonna argue with taking JJ.
No,
gambling with Kirk, that is a gamble because this upcoming year he's going to be what he's going to do, but he's also older and you don't know where he's going to be after that. So it is a gamble.
He'll go somewhere, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he will. And then not taking any of the Vikings running backs. I mean, that's valid.
Interesting. I was thinking like gambling, but we'll see what Mark has to say.
And then Hawk, worth a look as well. He'll be a consistent option for sure. Mm-hmm. And then you got Vikings were tied for second most penalties and had the most penalty yards. Well, there you go.
Well, that doesn't help with their situation.
Gotta clean that up, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So for my take, I think I will also go the easy route on this one and just say JJ. I do like Jordan Addison too, but you already took him, so I like to be a little different. So I would say JJ, no brainer. We all know what we're gonna get with him. This dude's still only 23.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you not take JJ?
I mean, I didn't take him because it's the obvious one.
No, I know, but you took Jordan Addison, and then after that, like looking at this roster, I'm like, oof.
Yeah, it's rough for Dynasty.
I don't know if there's another take. My gamble is going to be Hawkinson. Really? Just because he's still young. I feel like he has good upside. But I still feel like...
That's a take for me.
I get that. But for me, though, like, watching them, like, their offense doesn't run through the tight end.
No, but he's still good. I mean...
Like, they used him more than Detroit probably did. But, like, I don't know. He had maybe the one big game with Detroit, and then he had, like, 2 to 3 okay games with the Vikings. So, like, that's why he's just a gamble for me. Like, he's a guy I would take and look at for sure.
That's interesting.
But at the same time, I'm just like, will he be used to his potential? And when you have these receivers, like, it's hard to see why sometimes he does get overlooked.
For me, he's a take. And I left him open for you because I thought if I took Addison, you might have taken Hawkinson. But that's interesting you say that. Mm-hmm. Because Justin Jefferson's obviously the guy. But I was going to take TJ actually as my take because I think I think it's kind of what you said. They use him more than they did, his previous team. I felt like that one game that he popped off, and wasn't he like the tight end number 1 for like a couple of weeks?
Well, yeah, because he had that like almost 40-point game, but that was only because the Lions had
Well, no,
nobody else to throw.
consecutively though. I think that they're going to use him more. He's a take for me. I wouldn't put him in the game, but that is, like I said, I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm just saying your take on gambling for him is interesting to me. But go ahead, continue. Sorry.
And then my not take, I do agree with the running back situations. Like, I think I would actually elevate Madison more to a gamble than not a take, but the rest of them would not be takes. But I'm actually going to go with Jordan Hicks. I like the guy, but he's already 30, and I do feel like he is losing some steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think it could be 1 or 2 years before he becomes kind of an irrelevant linebacker in the NFL. Just because that's what happens, you get older, you lose a step.
I think Troy Reader eventually steps up.
And exactly. And then you got like people like, Osmwa and Troy Reader behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I just think
we don't know what he's going to be like in 2 years. Like, I don't know. If I get like a middle linebacker to start a dynasty, I want someone to have like a foundation that I know is going to be there for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah. So I'm reading what these guys are saying here about Hawk, and I agree with what they're saying here. Like I said, third read option, safety valve, obviously, yes. No, I agree with what they're saying. 800 yards, probably. That one's interesting. 800 yards, maybe, I don't know. I would like that. Same time, I don't want that. Just for one of my leagues, I don't know. No, and yeah. So like, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I like what you guys are saying here.
No, and I agree with all that stuff. I just Will Cousins, because even if JJ's tripled, Cousins has that knack of like JJ's got it still, and he's just gonna feed the ball
out there
to JJ, even though you're like JJ's like, don't you throw me the ball, and Cousins like, now you got this. Like, look at that Philly game is a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they only scored the one touchdown on that first drive, and then the whole rest of the game, he's just trying to force it to JJ, and JJ's like, dude, there's nothing here. Stop throwing me the ball.
Yeah.
And they had Irv Smith for how long? And he was a first-round pick, tight end.
That is true.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. And like I said, that's why he's a gamble. Like, I absolutely love TJ Hawkinson. And I think he's a beast of a tight end. It's just we'll have to wait and see exactly how they use him.
Yeah. Not JJ. You got this. Yeah. I think TJ will get you touchdowns in the red zone. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm thinking this year.
Absolutely.
But again, Mark has a valid point of how Cousins is with the tight end. I think it might change, but again, they're gonna have to change something, because if this defense cannot keep up, which they did bring in like 4 or 5 new faces to this defense, right? Veteran wise,
yeah, there's a few, and rookie.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, as for like starting points, like, this is what we're gonna see. Like, these veterans are gonna come in day one. They're gonna do impact right away.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have to start using like TJ more. So it's all very interesting to me. But let's get to the schedule. As it's kind of been scrolling there for a little bit. Let's bring up our schedule. Mark, go ahead, start ringing off the games while I put this up.
Oh, that was the right one. All right, so they're going to open their 2023 schedule week 1 at home against the Buccaneers. Oh, nice little way to ease your way into the season.
Yeah, When?
And for the second year in a row, they got to play the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia on a primetime game. This time it's Thursday night football. So
It's
good
prime
luck,
time Kirk, though, man.
right? Doesn't get any easier because then after that they got to head back home to play the Chargers. And then they got kind of an okay, like not as hard game with the Carolina Panthers in Carolina, but then they host the Chiefs. Then they go to Chicago, play the Bears. Then they're back home on Monday night to play the San Francisco 49ers. Then they head to Green Bay to play the Packers. Then Atlanta to play the Falcons, and they're back home against the Saints. Play the Broncos in Denver. Oh my God, they play the Broncos in Denver on Sunday night. Then the next week, Sunday night. Then the next week they play the Bears at home on Monday night.
Yeah.
Oh, Cousins has got to be squirming about this schedule. Then you got the
Probably.
Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas, week 14. Oh, their bye week was week 13. Sorry, I skipped it. You want me to stop for a little bit or keep going?
Yeah, let me catch up here because no, so this is interesting. TJ
Yeah,
played
so-
really well in the back half of the seasons. Worst game was week 18. Yeah, no. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's gonna be fine. Like, he did really good with them, more than he did with the freaking Lions. So, and then Mark said that, but you know, it's just like, no, I think that they're gonna have to utilize him. He has to be part of this offensive work. So,
Well, I
you know,
agree. I feel like in order to make up for the run game, they're going to need those like short 5-yard routes from their tight ends and running backs in order to make up for not having the run game.
yeah, or 6.8
or 6.8.
Yeah. So, but yeah, go ahead.
So week 13 was their bye week, and then we got after their bye week they go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. Then they go to Cincy to play the Bengals. Good Lord, this schedule is not easy. Then you got the Detroit Lions at home, Green Bay Packers at home, and then they go to Detroit to end it. Yeah, their last 2-3 games are all Division 2, of which are the Lions at the end. That's nuts. That's nuts.
It's going to be quite the roller coaster because we don't know what this defense is yet. It's different. It really is. It's different. Like,
no, it is.
But you can't like they didn't really do much. I don't know. Like, they brought in these guys probably late, but that defense was just horrible last year. Now, if Flores changes it, yeah, that would be great. I'm going to keep it optimistic and say they do pretty good defensively, which now kind of changes the way, like, well, what they finished. I said like what, 11? No,
You said 13 and
13. Yeah, 13-4. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were 13-4. Wow, why did I think they were 14? I thought they were 12-5 last year, but they actually were 13-4. Nice.
No, they were 13-4.
Interesting.
Do they sneak away with more like field goal games? Maybe, I don't know. Anthony says, I can see Vikings win 4 or 5 games and trading up next year for a top 3 pick. Okay. 5 or 6 games is what Anthony says. All right. Well, let me look here. So
that seems a little low. I have a little bit more.
I'm gonna look, yeah, because I might be higher on them than what Anthony says here. So Tampa Bay, I'm gonna say 1. I think they lose in Philly. They probably lose the Chargers. Carolina, I think they have a good chance there, and they win. Kansas City, they lose. I'm gonna say they lose again to this Bears game. So far I'm at 2. San Francisco, they lose. Green Bay, they win. Atlanta, they win. New Orleans win.
I have them beating the Saints.
I'm gonna say they win. I think Marcus Davenport is gonna have a ham sandwich with the day with them. Poor car. I think he's gonna like just go off on them. The Broncos. Man. I'm gonna say they lose.
I have them losing just because it's a primetime game.
I think they're gonna lose, but then they have a week or so before they play the Bears again. I think they split with the Bears here, so that's 6. I'm at 6. I think they beat the Raiders. And then they split with the the Lions. And wow, I think I'm having them sweep the Green Bay Packers.
I did
at
too,
9.
actually. I did actually have them sweeping the Green Bay.
I have them at 9.
And I also have them at 9.
Holy crap! What did we change?
We might actually have the same. I have Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Yep.
I have them. I actually have them beating the Bears on week 6.
So we have the different Bears games,
but losing to the Bears week 12. So I have
okay. See, I have the opposite. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole week in a
Green
day.
Bay, Atlanta, New Orleans. I do have them losing to the Broncos, and then I have them beating the Raiders.
Interesting.
Packers
again. It is. We're both at
Although
9.
it could be 8 because Detroit could sweep them. I think Detroit's that good, but it probably won't happen.
I think they'll.
Oh man, over under is 8.5. That's nuts. Bucks, Carolina, Atlanta, Saints, Vegas, Detroit, and Green Bay. Pick'ems against the Bears and Packers.
So Savor the Flavor, I believe, is a Detroit Lions fan and has 11 wins for first glance if they split with everyone in the division. But Philly, that's if they split with everyone division. So that's the key differential. But I also agree with you that they might lose to the Lions twice, so that puts them at 8. So we're kind of looking at 8.5, which what Braden gave us.
Right? That's why I said that's scary that we get that close sometimes. He says their losses are just the Philly, the Los Angeles Chargers, Kansas City, San Francisco, Chicago, and then Detroit twice. So he has them beating Cincinnati. You have the Vikings beating Cincinnati.
That's bold, man.
That's bold.
That's very bold. But no, I love Twitch. Look at that. Those emotes are great. And I'll take the under. Okay. All right. He still believes they're gonna lose. All right, that's fine.
Oh yeah, he had him at 5 and 6, so he would take the under.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's taking the under. So
oops, miss Cincy. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, that makes it feel a little better.
oh yeah, I forgot that. Goddess of a team. They're just so good.
Oh no,
Joe Burrow and his weapons. I don't know. So we're kind of bouncing between 8 and 9. We might see them losing to Detroit twice, right?
Yes.
Do you want to go with 8.5? This is the first time we're actually agreeing with Vegas numbers.
Yeah, we can go. I'll say 8 or 9 or 8 and go 8.5.
8.5? You want to go 8.5?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't think we've ever agreed with the odds, have we?
We've been close, like a half or one game, but that's the first time we've been like right on it.
Yeah, but a half? Like that's nuts, man. I don't think we've ever gone like because of the split. Oh, wrong one. Because of the split of Detroit and then maybe potentially getting swept. That's the difference. Where's my chart at? We finally completed the chart, guys. Well, division. We can finally.
Well, it's funny if we do have the Lions sweeping the Vikings, we technically still have them 3-3 in the division because we have them sweeping the Packers and then splitting with the Bears.
Oh look what Anthony. Oh no, never mind. I'll take the over. I don't think the Vikings will beat the Saints. Yeah. Wait, hold on. What?
No, you want the under then.
No, you want the under still then, right?
Yeah.
You can't put the over. Hold on. What do you mean, Anthony?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Because if you want the over, that means you're
I know
going
it's early.
Yeah, right.
I know it's early. Are you
We're
watching this on your phone? Are you still in bed? Which is okay if you. Oh no, but he's in Maryland, right? He's nah, man. He's awake. He's awake. He's probably awake. All right, let's do the thing here. Let's get
do the thing.
Let's get this out of the way. Let's put up our
Oh, we're doing an awesome job with it, and I think it's really cool that we're doing this.
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
I like it a lot.
That space in the middle.
Yeah, we still got to figure that out.
That's our Vikings. No, we're done, man. All I need to do is figure out I have the cities now, which I just got the Minnesotas today, so I found it.
Oh today. Yeah, because that was the background for the thumbnail, right?
Yeah, what I do is I kind of make them. Like here's the AFC North one.
Yep.
Wait, that's wrong. But yeah, no. So I make them, and then I just shrink them down to their size. Let me look for the symbol that I have here somewhere.
We're getting there, though. We're getting there.
Oh, the Vikings somewhere here.
You only got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 more to go. 11 more to go.
So I think by the time I get back from my training, you and Brian will finish it off. When I get back, we'll start doing our AFC, NFC ones. Yeah. So let's add our guy here.
Yeah. There he is.
So let's put this up. There you go. Get that out of the way. And we're doing how much? I forgot. 8.5.
8.5. 8.5.
8.5. All right.
Which I'm not gonna lie, that's probably more than I thought going in. Like I was ready to put the Vikings at like
same. No, I 100%
like same thing that Anthony said, like 5, 4, 5 or 6 wins. Like I was ready for that, but then actually seeing what they did on the defensive side, I was like, oh, you know
that's why we do these breakdowns,
right?
Man. Like this is what I love about these shows. Okay, like some of the teams are boring and nobody watches because nobody cares, and then we get like 2 viewers, but it's like, you know what? I struggle through that episode because I know what I'm getting. Honestly, I didn't think the Vikings would be this good. Just like kind of what Mark was saying. I honestly thought they were going to be bad, like worse, because last year's defense sucked. But they added some pieces. So, what's the Washington's background?
It's FedEx Field.
I don't know if you can see that.
Where they play.
Anthony, your Washington team, bro. That stadium is like in the middle of the Amazon jungle, way out there. There's nothing out there. Like what?
I want to go back to where RFK is so bad.
To where?
Where their old stadium used to be before they went to that one.
I wouldn't know.
It's crazy now that Dan Snyder's gone. All these cities are like, "Come we here!" Like all the places Dan Snyder got rejected from. They're telling the new ownership, like, "Put your stadium here. Put your stadium here. Like we want to work with you now because Snyder's gone."
Yeah, I don't know if I did that while I pulled it up, but no. So far. So we still got to do the Jags. So tomorrow, what are we doing? Tomorrow we're doing the Giants.
Yes.
I don't know. I find myself getting more and more surprised as we go along. I really am. I feel like, oh, this team sucks. They're not going to do good. And I'm like, okay. Or I look at it, I'm like, wow, you guys are really bad. So RFK is the next to an army base?
Yeah.
I didn't
possible.
know that. So that'd be really cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, they could probably work with like the military and have like
Well, yeah, we're only
some
the
type of show.
commanders.
Tank, what's up, the producer?
Hey, it's the producer.
We gotta get a sound clip from Hollywood and Dead.
Right?
The producer.
It's Tank, the producer.
But yeah, no, we just got them finishing up, dude. We have Vikings at 8.5.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I look. They brought in some veterans, which obviously, overall, they're old, but they're still good. But in our taking gambling section, we didn't take any of them. But for the Vikings' sake, this season coming into 2023, we're looking at between 8 to 9 games, depending on how Detroit does. If Detroit sweeps them, we have them at 8. If they split with Detroit, we have them at 9. And then we both came to agreement, 8.5, which is ironically what we came with Vegas, 8.5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was going down my team. Mark's like, I also have them at that number. That's weird. So there it is. Can they make playoffs with that?
I mean, as of right now, yeah.
We're looking at these teams so far right now, yes.
They're the third best, fourth best in the NFC. But that could definitely change because a lot of these teams are remaining because they were really good, and that's why.
Well, the Niners.
That's what I said. You got the Niners, the Giants, the Cowboys.
Right, the Giants who beat the Vikings, ironically, what we're doing tomorrow. So, yeah. And tomorrow we're going to do that at Tank Your Time, I would imagine 8:30. Right? Yeah, 8:30 your time, Tank. 9:30 Mark's time. 6:30 West
Your
Coast.
time. Yeah.
So yeah. Them boys. Niners, Giants.
Yeah, we still have them, and I wouldn't be shocked if they were above them.
Yeah. So we'll see what we have. But we'll talk about the Giants tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. I wish I could find that logo in a much lighter PNG, but it's fine. Can you see it? Can you see the Cowboys? Barely, kind of. I had to change the background city for that to make it stand out.
Yeah, you can see it's there. You just can't quite. If I zoom in, like I can see it now.
I'll be all right. Anyways, all right. Thanks, guys. Good morning. Have a good rest of your day, wherever you guys are working or you're off today. I guess it's Juneteenth. It's a national holiday, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting used to it, man. Still getting used to it. So, but yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll see you tomorrow. Anything else about the Vikings or anything in general at all?
No. I'm just shocked at how well we think they're going to do, but I mean, I don't think you can argue against it, really.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you for coming in every time.
Oh yeah,
I really do. So, last thing, the jersey giveaway we are doing Wednesday. If you're not in, get in. I think Saver, you jumped in. I think you even have a YouTube account. So I think that was the whole reason. So yeah, I think so. But yeah, get in tomorrow. Or Wednesday. I think Wednesday's gonna be the last day for cutoff, and we're gonna probably do it during the show at some point. To that specific episode. I should have linked the episode to this show, but it's the 300 sub one. It's kind of bluish, purplish, yellowish. You can't miss it if you go to the actual homepage. It's our little like intro
confetti in the air.
Yeah. I'll try to get in chat tomorrow earlier. Yeah, no problem. If you can, you can. It's fine. You got
2 minute long video. It's easy watch. Just tells you basically what you have to do to enter the giveaway.
Yeah, but Tank, if you can't get in, don't worry. It's fine. We get it. I understand. All right, guys. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you guys are at. It's morning here in America, but if you're out overseas, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. 8.5 is interesting for the Vikings. They can sure hit 9 wins, but can somehow find a way to lose and a bunch of Yeah. So that's what we were at too.
It's truth. You're not lying.
Mm-hmm. Pretty perfect. The Minnesota has 8th hardest schedule. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, guys. This is why we're doing it, and this is why we're doing that chart to see how well we do at the end, because we were pretty close to what our markings last year, but we had no proof. This year we have the proof, so we can go back and backtrack on how crappy or good we are at predicting games.
Right.
So, yeah. So
we
anyways,
have
guys,
to know for sure we nailed the Bears last year.
Yes. That was kind of easy. That was an eye-opening for the first half till the bye. Yeah. So the bye week is actually in a good spot for them too. A very good spot. So both of last year's Super Bowl contenders, yes. So with the 13th bye, might be a good spot for them. Mm-hmm. Rest before playoffs, kind of figure out. Oh yeah, thank you, Tank. Thank you so much. But yeah, get in there. All right, guys. I gotta head out, get some stuff done today. And we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early again. We'll be, like I said, 9:30, 8:30, 6:30. So see you then. Just loading it up right now. You guys are all just waking up or having your break right now. Everyone's just comments of galore right when we're gonna end, huh?
Right, trying to get out of here, and everyone's just like,
it's fine, but they nailed themselves. Yeah, they did. Not according to Brian though. Oh yeah, they're gonna win. All right. Get out of here. Go away. Go back to work. Thanks for watching, guys. Love every single one of you guys. We'll see you tomorrow as we talk about Giants.
Yep.
Later.
Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.